I got it. It's on.
All right, good. So I think you're a co-host, maybe, I don't know. So we'll all figure it out together. And we always appreciate everyone's grace. Could you post today's materials to print? Janet, do you have that?
Yes, I do. Give me a minute.
We'll get that into the chat. As you know, it's a little bit of a hunt and peck here, looking for things. I recommend maybe in your market center, just print out the whole workbook and have it in a 3-ring binder and scribble notes all over the thing and have it on your desk forever. Because, hey, it's Brooke. Woohoo!
Good morning.
Good morning. So yeah, we're ready to rock and roll on open houses. Yeah, get your workbooks going, and we're hoping to have a really interesting morning. I love open houses. They're a super duper successful use of your time. And again, open houses don't start at 1:15. They start the week before. So let's make sure we all do, really absorb the opportunity of doing an open house. And we talked a little bit about some safety things and door knocking and how it can be effective for some and not as effective, but we'll work our way around it. So let me go to my screen share here. Wish I could split screen so I could see somebody's gonna have to show me how to do that later. All right, presentation, here we go. Back her up, wrong page already. All right, so, whoops. All right, hold on, Ignite. Open houses, welcome, welcome. Who's done some open houses ever? Anyone? Has anyone done an open house yet?
I have.
All right, Erin, how'd that go? Did you
Went great. I started in February and I joined a team, and they are extremely active. So I've probably done since February 8 or 9 open houses.
Oh, awesome. All right,
Yeah.
Erin, you'll have to give us your insights as we go forward. 8 or 9 is a wonderful number to do open houses. What's the best thing you like about open houses?
Well, being a new agent, they allow me to follow up with anybody who's not represented. So haven't had a ton of luck with that, but I reach out to everybody. And actually it was the second open house that I did. I actually did pick up a client, and we just went under agreement with a condo out in Natick.
Oh, so there we go.
Yeah.
So that's success. So you have had success.
Yes.
First you said I didn't have a lot of, in the beginning, did you find a lot of buyers were represented by someone? I mean, this market's a little tricky.
It was surprising. And most of them had an agent, but there's, still a couple people that, didn't have agents. So you just kind of wonder, are they a nosy neighbor? Are they seriously looking? And, part of my messaging, reaching out to people afterwards to follow up, was that, even if this isn't the right property, I'd love the opportunity to talk to them about how a buyer's agent can really kind of give them a leg up in this really competitive market. They need someone to be representing and advocating for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that sounds like a very, very clear message. So congratulations on getting that done and learning and closing. So that's what it's all about. Starting from A and get to Z and close, and then you have them forever, 100 years. All right. So what successful agents do every day, we put this up every single day on Ignite. We lead generate for buyers and sellers, and open houses are one of the ways to lead generate for buyers and sellers. So let's look at the benefits of the open house, and I think we can all agree. So let me ask a question. So here's the benefits of an open house. They're inexpensive. They have a high return on your investment in exposure. You do get qualified leads from one listing, and it's a productive way to meet buyers and sellers. Do you hold open houses to sell the house or to pick up buyers or sellers? What do you guys think?
I would both.
Both? Right. I think that's
all three.
What was that, Nick?
All three of them?
Yes, all three. You want to absolutely, very good point. It is all three. It's not both. It's you are there, whether you're hosting the open house for yourself as the list agent, or you're hosting an open house as as a facilitator, I guess, for the list agent, yes, your core job really is to sell the home. And yes, you want to always, always, always locate new buyers. And sometimes people don't realize, and I don't know the numbers exactly, maybe someone does. There's a high level of people that are coming to open houses that are sellers. And they're not saying that they're sellers. They're kind of pretending they're buyers. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Correct. So what are they doing when they're at your open house? These sellers, what do you guys think?
They're
Watching the realtor,
What are they watching for?
maybe just to see how they interact with the client or how they're representing the home.
Yep. What else do you think they're looking for?
They're looking for what their house is kind of valued compared to the house that they're looking at right now.
Yeah, doing a little snooping. What is my house like this? Is my kitchen better? Is my yard better? What do I have to do at my house to get it going? What do you think they're looking for, though, at the agent? What do you think that they're looking for secretly?
How they represent the house and how they're showing the house, or what they're saying positively or negatively about the house at times too.
Yeah, I agree, Pam. So yeah, they're looking at everything. They're looking at you, how you're presenting yourself as a professional. Are you paying attention to people coming and going? Are you conscious of the safety of the home? Of course, this is COVID, time, although I guess, I don't know how going forward, open houses are going to shift a little bit. I don't think we can have 100 people in the house at once, even still, but I do think there's going to be some little bit change on that. For sure, they're looking at, are you protecting the home? Are you presenting it well? I mean, who's been to an open house and the agent is like just on their phone and doing that? It's such a miss. It's really, really such a miss. If you put a full week into an open house, you're really going to present yourself as like, this lady, or this guy, they're on it. I want to, because they'll watch it for a week, other sellers, and we get to that piece as we move forward. So your goal in hosting an open house is not only to sell the home, it's to put yourself in the path of opportunity, the business opportunity to meet people, add to your database, set appointments, and get a whole feel for the scene. What is it like? Just reading my little notes here. In my area, I mean, I'm not in production, but certainly I'm, working with a lot of agents in my program. Many of them they're not hosting so much, they're shadowing. In our market center, we don't really let brandy new people go out and host, but there's plenty of us. And it does help to have more than one person. You almost need like the hostess out front, the host out front, taking names and getting emails and finding out who's who and kind of holding people, let people go in. Sometimes you'll take turns. Somebody hangs outside for a little bit. Somebody's in the house. So all of that helps to really create a fantastic opportunity to get in front of people. And we're going to do a little scripting maybe on some door knocking and kind of the things that you want to say at open houses, some questions. So
Yeah, but if it helps, one of the things we always work in doubles and during COVID, and we have someone outside greeting people, and we want to connect with those people and always represent the house first, but grab that contact information and follow up later, because you should be getting 2 deals for everyone in any market.
Is that your experience, two deals at every open house?
If you can do it, no, for every transaction, for every listing, you should be able to get 2 deals going.
And that's a policy that's been around, because that is exactly historically how it goes. So yeah, so open houses, inexpensive. is newer agents, we always want to go with time and our things first before we start throwing money at everything. You know, yeah, you might want to throw out a little campaign and we'll get to that, but it's really can be a very good way and it's not going to cost you a lot of money to get things going. So it's totally a high return on your investment. Okay, so there's a little stat here, which I don't know. It says, according to the NAR in 2019, which seems like 100 years ago, 51% of all buyers use open house as a source for information on their home search. What does everybody think on that? What's everybody think on that stat? "51% of buyers used an open house as a search." 51. What does everyone think?
That's basically half of, what every single buyer finds a host there.
Do you agree with that statistic?
Yeah, I believe it's true because that's where buyers are. And supposedly there's no inventory. So
There's plenty of inventory. It just goes really quickly. So do you think 51% is accurate?
No, I think that seems really low.
Yeah,
I would say that's where most people start is with an open house. If they don't have an agent, that's where they go to start.
unfortunately in this market, that's sometimes the only way you can get into a house.
Right.
And that's, but yeah, 2019 is a long time ago. And this last year was so strange. It does feel like it was 5 years ago. So, in that data, it does seem a little bit low to me. And we'll see as we get out of the COVID, the pandemic and things get back to whatever is normal, will we still see that, sometimes people get into a particular pattern and they just stick with it. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting to see. So what's your number one job in real estate?
our first job or second? Because our first is to generate.
Thank you, Nick. Lead generating, relationship building. I don't love the word lead generating, but that's the word. It's building relationships, and open houses, as we said, is the way to do it. Oh, I'm going to move my little thing. So here's your basic, system here. We're going to prepare. There's 1, 2, 3 things. We're going to prepare, we're going to prospect, and we're going to pursue everyone. So let's start with a little preparation, right? So prepare. When done with purpose, an open house is a sales event that is preceded by a systematic process and surrounded by a wealth of lead generating opportunities. The prospecting model, as we said, is prepare, set up for your open house success, promote and host, and then pursue and follow up, right? All right, here we got the old warning, Telephone Consumer Protection Act. Let's be careful with that. So we're going to prepare ourselves for success. And this is really a basic schedule for the full week ahead. You can really start it sooner. And a lot of times, newer agents don't have listings, which is a little tricky. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? How are you going to get a list? What are you going to do? So what do you do when you don't have a listing or you're not on a team? How do we get ourselves an open house to host?
Volunteer to help.
And how do you do that, Karen? Like, what do you do?
I put a note out to everybody in the office. We have inter-office mail, so I just put a note out willing to help with open houses.
Yeah. How's that work? Has that been successful?
Actually, my very first one, I got a transaction from.
Awesome. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's what you have to do. What's another way to get an open house? What do other people do in other market centers? Is there any other systems? I'd love to hear.
People don't usually talk about that, Jim.
I think some of the Facebook pages.
I mean, we got a double-barreled win.
Oh, I don't know who that was, but I couldn't quite hear you.
I said like Facebook pages. There's a number of different Massachusetts agent pages. And
Oh,
oftentimes they're looking for someone to help cover, or you can volunteer on it.
yep. We have a nice a practice in our market center is a lot of the newer agents will do a search and see what is coming up, or they'll look at the coming soon. We have a coming soon little Facebook group in our Facebook, and they'll go in and they'll see something coming and they'll call that agent directly. Remember, top agents that have a lot of listings aren't sitting around on Facebook necessarily, you know, so you might want to take it to the next level and call and say, hey, I see you have something coming up on, you know, Windermere. I'd love to help you do your open house, and I'll do all kinds of things. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. And that's very, very good way to get it going, you know? I'm sorry, what was that?
No,
So
it's
you're
gonna,
saying- No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, guys.
no, I was gonna say in my market center, we do have something they call the hot sheet that comes out every week. So I always look at the list, the hot sheet, and then I look at the whoever's having any the new listings come up. So they got the new listings, they got everything under contract, and then they got the transactions that have closed. So we do have all the agents' names on there. So I always pick the one that's within the town that I would like, you know, I wouldn't have a problem going to. And then I just DM or get in touch with the agent, and I've had pretty much an open house every week for the last month, every weekend.
Yeah.
So and they always say yes. I haven't had anybody say no.
Do
Awesome.
you think
Yeah,
that hot
usually,
sheet
go ahead.
exists? Do you think that hot sheet is at every office, or I'm in the Andover Keller Williams location? So do you feel that I could get that same information from that location?
So are you talking about Andrew, are you talking about a hot sheet out of MLS, or does something in your market center, someone in your market center creates this and puts it out to the group?
Oh no, this is from the market center. It's a market center thing. So yeah, every week we do get that, and usually it's more than once, really, depending on how many transactions they got going. So we might get one, say today, and then day after tomorrow we're gonna get another one, and then some of the same transactions still show up on the new one, like we're on the last one, and then you do have some new things that come up. So, but yeah, they've been pretty good at it. Every week we do get a hot sheet.
All right, cool. So I would say if you want something like that, talk to your check director in your market center and see if they can set something up. Certainly you can go on MLS and do a hot sheet for yourself to see what's coming up for open houses in the next 2 weeks, or, you know, so I would fall back on your market center and ask for help on that, because, you know, every market center has sort of different, you know, not everybody has a coming soon Facebook group. Not everybody has somebody doing hot sheets. So find out what's going to work for you. Be engaged with every agent. Keep an eyeball on who's the ones that are doing a lot of business and reach out to them. And hopefully they'll give you an opportunity. Before you know it, you'll have your own listings, and you'll be doing your own open houses. So let's see. So once you've made a decision, you're going to host an open house. Like I said, we're going to start a week out if possible. And let's set yourself up. Like Monday, what do we do on Monday? I don't know if this does it, but hold on. So Monday, I can give you a couple of examples, and I believe some of this is in your workbook. So you want to select your open house by location and time, and you know, figure out where it's going to go. Sometimes you can't be picky. You know, yes, we always want the most fabulous house in the best location, but put yourself out there and do what you can. Sometimes the best house in the best location is going to bring a lot of buyers, but potentially those buyers may already have a buyer agent. If you're going in an area that's not quite as nice and not as desirable, you might get buyers that are not attached, or you might get sellers that aren't connected with any agents because they're not marketed to as much. So, you know, be open to all of those kind of things.
Hey, Deb,
Yeah.
I noticed this year because of COVID, a lot of open houses that I read in showing instructions are saying by appointment only.
Yeah, we're seeing lots of different, lot of different policies and a lot of different feelings. Some seller agents, listing agents don't bother with open houses because all of the buyers are attached to an agent already. I think that's
what I was going after, yeah.
yeah, and I don't know if I 100% agree with that policy. I still think it's important to your own business to make sure you're getting yourself out there. This is a marketing piece for the home, and it's a marketing piece secretly a little bit for yourself. What is everybody else seeing on that piece? Any other comments on that?
I think as the COVID restrictions are lifted, we will see more of the show up when you want for an open house.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel we have another 30, 60 days maybe before we're going to really see some big, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that, trying to figure that piece out a little bit. All right, so Monday, you're going to select your open house and make sure it's getting out there. You're going to take control, even if you're co-hosting and shadowing, check with the listing agent. Most of them are like, yeah, knock yourself out. Put it on your Facebook page, all that good stuff. So Tuesday, we want to post it online. We want to generate a call list, and we want to see if we can somehow connect with the neighbors. Obviously, we want to adhere to the do not call list, and we'll talk about door knocking as the week goes by. Make sure that you also, whether that's Tuesday or Wednesday, you want to, if you're going to do a campaign, you probably want to start that on a Wednesday and do it for the whole, from Wednesday to Wednesday. And we'll talk about campaigns, and Janet can show us a little bit about how that would work, because you want to make sure that you're driving as much business to that open house and as much business to yourself. You know, while you're trying to sell that home, you're trying to create and stimulate a lot of activity. So you want to post it online, and then you want to invite your database. Has anybody ever thought of that one, inviting your database to your open house? Has anyone ever done that? You know, no?
I have not, no.
Yeah.
I'm actually working an open house this weekend, and that's my plan.
Is
I'm gonna
this
do
your,
that today, actually.
I haven't been on for a couple of days. I know, Chuck, you're working on a FISBO. Did you get that FISBO?
Not yet. Still working it. You remember that?
I do. Yeah, I'm a coach. I remember stuff, what people are doing. So I didn't know if you might doing that open house. That's okay. Make sure those FISBO people know you're doing the open house for sure, because you're going to get that, I can tell. At some point,
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion for Chuck? Why doesn't he do the open house for them on the FISBO?
Well, that would be something he'd need to speak to his OP or his TL about, because you can't make any representation that you're representing these people. You have to, I'm going to direct you right back to leadership on that one.
Okay.
Because if you're doing an open house for sale by owner, you have no contract signed with them. Your errors and omissions won't kick in if something happens. And you know, I thought it was a great idea too. And, you know, Janice, but I've had some feedback from that. And you're representing someone with no contract, and it really falls down to the errors and omission piece. So I would, hey, you're not going to do an open house for them until they sign something. You do an open houses for everybody else, and you can certainly invite them. And I think Chuck should, if it's anywhere near that other home. So we want to make sure that we're, you know, we're doing what we can for sure. But yeah, so Thursday, let's get it online. Let's get a campaign going. And then Friday is really when you start moving a little bit. You want to continue to post it online. I'm sure it's going to be all out in the MLS and all that good stuff. Let's prepare some market stats. And Chuck, are you real familiar with the neighborhood you're going to, that you're hosting this open house?
No, I am not. I'm actually working it for another listing agent.
Yeah.
And I'm not familiar with the territory. So I'm going to go up there on Friday and just drive around the town and drive around the neighborhood just to be familiar with it.
Right. So you want to prepare some market stats, do some research on the town, the neighborhood, you know, get some comps, maybe do a little CMA on the property yourself. You know, and make sure, now I don't know if this person's gonna print out open house flyers or what the policy is
Right.
with that particular listing agent. Obviously, you might wanna whip up a little flyer for yourself and have that with you, you know, as you're you know, but yeah, definitely get a little handle on the neighborhood, because when people come in, they're gonna ask you things. Now, you don't have to know everything. No one knows everything in real estate. I don't care how long you've been in the business, but you always want to be the resource. When they say, geez, what are the schools like? You know, you're going to say, my kid, you know, my kids are not in this school. I can always say my kids are out of school, so I'm not in tune with it, but here's this website and that website, and send them on their way. People look at schools before they even have a child, you know? So, and by the time they really have that, you know, so that's kind of their due diligence for sure, but always have the resource. So yeah, Friday, cruise around, you know, let's make sure we know as much as we can about the neighborhood and to be as much of a resource as we can. Saturday, of course, you're going to do another posting, whether you have a open house rider on the sign, hey, open house on Sunday. I don't, again, know what the policy is. And then we want to get into that door knocking question. And Chuck, you had indicated you weren't super comfortable with it. And we can mastermind around that a little bit. Obviously, you've got a sign. Is it a neighborhood or is it a busy road? What do you got there?
It's a neighborhood.
Yep. So what does everybody else think about door knocking? Let's have a quick mastermind on that.
I like this suggestion that somebody made the other day about knocking on doors and in a sort of non-threatening way of just saying, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. There's going to be an open house on Saturday. You might see a lot of cars coming through the neighborhood. You know, we're even going to offer, which we've never done, which I kind of like, is having a neighborhood sneak peek, maybe a half hour before. And so just saying to the neighbors, hey, you know, it starts at 1, but we're opening up to the neighbors who might want to just come and see the house at 12:30. You know, wouldn't it be great if you have a friend that was looking to move to this neighborhood? You can take a peek at the house. We're here Saturday and Sunday. So it's a little less threatening, I think, whereas the whole idea of just door knocking kind of scares me.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I think best practice, absolutely positively have somebody with you. And I do know statistics will show that if you have somebody with you, you are more likely. And yes, there's a little protocol. You knock on the door and then you stand back and turn to the side a little bit, so you're not like right on them, you know, when they open the door. I love that idea, Erin, and that, Chuck, this might be something you might want to do. Make a little flyer that says you're cordially invited to a pre-open house neighborhood preview. You know, I don't know how designy you are, but, and that way that's your script. You could say, hey, just wanted to let you know I have an open house over at the whatever their name's house is. And prior to the public open house, we're inviting all of the neighbors and would love for you to come by and take a peek at it. You know, it kind of stops the traffic, you know, kind of gets your nosy neighbors out of the way. For the neighbors, they're going to say, wow, this guy is like good. He's, you know, he's going out of the box and he's inviting us early and, you know, that kind of thing. So that's something that can be perceived as a really a nice high level open house and can be well received. And, you know, as I said, sellers are often looking at you as an agent for themselves later, or now or later. You just certainly never know. And by the way, you can really multiply this by after the open house, writing them a note. Hey, gee, thanks so much for, I hope it wasn't too busy and nobody ran on your driveway, or, you know, that kind of thing. So there's really a lot of things you can do with that piece. And we'll talk about some scripting. Any other thoughts on ideas, what might be helpful for getting people to your open house? And stop screen share for a sec, see what everybody's thinking. What other ideas might be great to get people to your open house? Let's review. We've got some, I love Erin's idea, the half hour before. You could even do it an hour before, depending on the location. What other ideas?
How about if you get on the phone
Yeah,
and call the neighbors?
you can call the neighbors. That's always a challenge, getting their phone number, but you know, what else can you do? Keith, you're laughing. What do you think? What do you got for an idea?
Well, that's an interesting question. How do you get the numbers of the neighbors? Because if you have that hourglass so that you can look into, I want a piece of that.
Yeah, you know, if somebody can tell me how to do that, I would be very happy, but it's a challenge all around.
We have services that does cost money.
Yep,
But
there are
there are
services
ways.
that cost money. Absolutely. You know, the do not call list was the people that, I won't go into the do not call list complaint. But anyways, yeah, so that's unfortunately a little bit door knocking. Remember, you can't put things in people's mailbox, apparently, not apparently, you can't put things in people's mailbox. You can certainly knock on the door and have your little invitation for your preview, put it in their little storm door and go on your way. Definitely bring someone with you. Let's move forward a little bit. Any more thoughts on other good ideas? No parking lot car flyers either. Thank you. I hate those anyways.
What about
Any-
what about like signs or, kind of like a yard sale, but open house with dates?
Well, you're going to hopefully have a panel and a sign on the house. Definitely you want to have directionals. Now, I don't know if you guys have open house directional signs, and I don't mean the stick in the ground corrugated ones. I'm talking the tent kind, the metal ones.
So I noticed in Jamestown this weekend or last week that someone had put up kind of like yard sale signs, open house this way on such and such a date, for right when you get off the bridge leading to where it was, but it was days in advance. It wasn't that day.
Yeah. Whatever works for you, whatever you have for, everything works, I guess. Certainly you want a rider on your sign that says open house on Sunday. Chuck, I don't know if you've got a rider that says open house Sunday for that property, or if the list agent's going to do that.
Yeah, I believe he
Yeah.
does, yes.
Deb, we have a question here
Yes.
about what are the rules around sharing information on a house publicly before you put it on MLS? That's from
Okay.
Eric.
Okay, that's another whole question. It all depends on your local MLS rules and your board of realtor rules. Typically, if you have, it depends on the contract that you have signed in Massachusetts. If we have something within our MLS, we have a non-MLS agreement that the seller sign that does allow us to market the property, but I don't know what town, city, or state you're in. So I would circle back around with your compliance person at your market center. You have to be very, very careful with that. You can't be marketing things. There's a code of ethics. You can't be taking unfair advantage of other agents. And so you always want to, Brooke's shaking her head. What do you think?
This one's a little tricky because some MLSs, if they don't belong to NAR, have different rules. So this is one you always go back to your broker of record on in your leadership, and you go from market center rules, because what Deb and I might do, it could be very different if you're on Cape and Islands or Connecticut and all these different places. So if you want to know more, go to nar.realtor and just read about clear cooperation and why it exists. But remember, you have the best marketing network inside for Coming Soons without worrying about public marketing, because you have your market center leverage, right? You get to get your properties out to your entire KW team.
Yeah.
It's on that if you're worried about clear cooperation or Coming Soons.
Yeah, get it out. Yeah, don't be chasing people you don't know. Let's get this information out to people you do know. And we can move over to the campaign piece, which can really direct some specific people to you. And this is a very, very interesting way to get leads. And this is why open houses can be very important, this whole campaign piece. And we'll get to that. So the large part, okay. So what's the best time to do an open house? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
I'd say the weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
what nights?
nights? If it's a busy road, a lot of people do commuter open houses. Is it good to do open houses when other agents are doing them? Yes or no?
I would say yes, because there's many people would go to kind of several open houses, especially to compare the properties.
Absolutely. They're gonna have to do that. What if it's near a school or something? Or near a soccer field or one of those things? I would
Sure,
say
why
it's-
not? Because you can get the traffic from the people going and leaving the sport.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. People coming and going. Sometimes open houses can be very impulsive too. And if you have an open house and people are pulling in and out, more people will pull in and out. If no one's there, no one will pull in. So at the very least, and this isn't really applicable right now, but we're learning about real estate in the long-term game here. When this market is different and there isn't a million people looking for one house, when there's more houses out there, you are going to have to fight to get people to come to open houses. And if there's no one there, so have your friends or your family or your sister or somebody come over and have people coming and going. And that way people, oh, there's a couple cars here, let's pull in. You never know what temperature a particular buyer might be in their, in their buying thermostat. Some first time, when they're really in their early stages of the process, they're very hesitant. They don't want to talk to agents, they're scared, but if somebody else is there, that can be very helpful. So I think it's really, it's up to you to do your research and just see what's customary around your area. And hey, if it's customary, maybe do something different. It's always good to think out of the box and do something different, right? So let's talk a little bit about door knocking, because I do think, and I don't know what page, let me go back to my thing. Hold on, I forgot where I was. All right, so we've kind of gone through the week, and I believe in your guide, it does have all of these things in here. Hey, Mark. So let's continue on here a little bit. Let's talk about door knocking. And it's an excellent way to get interest in your upcoming open house event. The script is on page 6 of your participant guide. And it's basically before the open house, door knocking to invite neighbors. Anybody want to do does anybody have their script in front of them? Who wants to do some scripting on door knocking?
What do you think? Should we break them out into some groups?
I love that idea. Love it. Who was that, Brooke?
That was me. I'm going to have to hop back in as New England, though, unless Janet can. Do you know how to do the breakout groups? I'm not an admin. Unless you just make me a co-host right now. If you just click on my...
Let me do that. Where are you, Brooke?
Find me.
Boom. Make co-host. All right, let's get into some breakout rooms and find your, did you get there, Brooke?
I'm there. Yep.
All right, let's talk about this. I mean, this is important because you don't even always have to door knock. You can drive and walk and there'll be people raking and their kids will be running around. So, and you're just chatting, but definitely have something in your hand to hand people. So what do you think? We'll do a little, let's grab our participant guide on page 6. We'll look at this role modeling for door knocking or approaching people when they're raking their yard. Right, so what do you think we want to do here? About 10 minutes on that, and then maybe is it too early for a break, or what do you think? A little bit.
Is this in the script?
No, it's in the participant guide for in your toolkit. Did we put it up on this thing here?
Yep, it's up. There's the student materials up there. We're in Elementals 3 today.
And I suggested, and I don't know what the other trainers are saying, I really would suggest everybody take that whole workbook, bite the bullet, print it out, black and white, put it in a 3-ring binder. So you have that in your script book and it's right there and you can have it flying around in your car for the next 10, you'll want to be able to reference this. So, You should be really pushing that. In my market center, we're just gonna print them.
Yep, we do. I get one of the preferred partners in the market centers to print, and then I've used my Ignite materials for 2 years. I've never not used my Ignite materials. I always have them.
Yeah, so let's, I think that's a good best practice. And for those of you at your or your own market center, if you're having any trouble, circle around with your leadership and get some help on that.
All right, ready? I'm gonna open up those rooms.
All right, let's go for it, guys. And I'm gonna bounce around.
All right, see you in there.
All right, good luck, guys. That is so cool. I gotta learn how to do that.
Not paying attention, they don't join a room.
Yeah. They're so slick.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Sneaky, and then we'll see how it goes. So,
all right, pick a room, pick whatever room you want. I'm gonna go jump in a room too.
All right. Jump in a room. Okay, let's see. Brooke is there. Brian. Let's join. This room looks a little. I'll go where there's not a lot of people. Let's do
this. Have fun. Well, that was rude how it brought me right back.
I think I did that because I got a message, so I'm the rude one.
It's so rude how, no, Zoom is just rude as a whole on how it just sucks you all back.
Oh,
It's not you. It's not
Okay.
you.
Okay. We had some good talks. Good.
We did too. We had some fun talks. It sucked me right out of the room right as Drew was telling me something.
I know, and same thing, Andrew was just on it, ready to get a whole bunch of people to his open house, so.
Aw.
That was really, really good, and let's have, first of all, you can find many more open house scripts in your Element script book, starting on page 25. So let's have some takeaways. What are your thoughts?
Our people are so nice. We need mean script
I
people,
know.
right? We just talked about that at the end, that they don't know how to handle the no because other agents are too scared to say no or be mean.
Right. So I don't know, in your market centers, if you don't have script practices going, start one. Start a little group on Wednesday morning or something and practice these things. So what other takeaways do we have? Let's have some thoughts. Who nailed it?
Well, I don't know if I said I know it, but so I have a question. So I think right now in Maine, the way things are, someone has to be represented. Could you say to someone like, we're having an open house, but you have to be represented in order to visit. Like, we'd be happy to represent you, even if they're not looking, or does that not fly?
So public people just can't come to open houses in
I
Maine?
believe that's the way it is. Yes. Yeah. And it's all it's only 15-minute blocks. You have to come in, you have to reserve a time. It's 15 minutes and then you got to be out.
Mm.
So that's kind of, we haven't been doing them at all. So that I'm totally novice to open houses because.
All right. Well, I'm gonna circle you back around to your broker of record or your TL, or I don't know if you have productivity. What market center are you in up in Maine?
Right in the greater Portland.
Yeah. So you've got a big group up there. So yeah, let's get on the horn, find out how do we want to handle this. So
okay.
Yeah, because it's a huge opportunity. You've got to get a system in place for that. So who else killed it?
I wouldn't say that I killed it, but I definitely think that a way to get better at it is just to keep practicing, because the first time you go through, you realize this isn't how I really talk. There's more pauses and it doesn't sound like I'm trying to hit each point, and it sounds a lot more fluid as you practice it and then get better, and then you just naturally know okay, I have to kind of shift towards this part and not just okay, each part you have to say in order, and it's a lot better if you practice is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, and as I said in our room, it doesn't take long for it to become a little bit instinctual. Just do it and practice with your family, your kids, your dog, and yes, people aren't always nice. And maybe we'll do a little scripting on that at some point, because you do have to be prepared that people, again, think you're, taking their, Amazon packages. Like we said, the guy in my office got yelled at. I have a ring and get up, he really felt very uncomfortable, and he's the nicest, sweetest kid, but just looked like that's what happens. So let's make sure that we practice and have somebody with us at all time. And when are you going to practice? Let's ask that question. It's easy for me to say it. When are you going to put it on your calendar to do it? Brooke, do you have your script practice on your calendar today?
Every Wednesday morning, 8 to 8:30, and I script practice with either 2 other RTTs or labs advisors in the MCTT roles.
I would love it if we had a regional giant Zoom script thing somewhere. So
I might be able to make that happen.
I'd love it if you made that happen, because we have it in our office and a couple of agents do it. Guess what happens? They're scripting and they're lead generating, and then they get busy and they don't do it.
Hold on, let's stay on this thread for a second.
Yeah.
Rooms with specific topics, breakout rooms pre-done. So if you want help with listings or FISBOs, all right,
On it. Love it. Because everybody wants to, everyone wants to do it, and every market center wants it to happen. And it's just another thing that everybody has to do, but it's really, really important. And I guarantee, guys, when the words come out just super easy, even when you've been around 30 years, you still can stumble. But at the end of the day, you won't go anywhere. Once you're in real estate, and I say this at almost every class, once you're in real estate for 2 weeks, everywhere you go, you can't go anywhere. You can't go to a baby shower, you can't go to a wedding, you can't go anywhere without people asking you about real estate. So you must have your words ingrained. And it's okay to mess stuff up. Nobody's perfect. Just, so let's learn that. So let's see what we can do. All right, let me move to the next little thing here.
Deb, I was gonna say something.
Yes.
They do have something, I think it's like a national script practice thing. I forget the gentleman that runs it, but I've been on it once. And I'm sure if you talk to Market Center, I haven't talked to anybody about it, but it's more like a national thing where literally they just get into it every morning. I think it's about 8 o'clock or 8:30. But like I said, I forget. I'm pretty sure if you YouTube it or try to Google it, it should come up on there. It was pretty good. There was a whole bunch of people on it.
Right. And we won't stay too long in this, but what is scripting? What does it do when you know what to say? I'm not saying this right. If you know what you're saying, what does it do for you? There's like 3 things. If you really know what you're saying.
Builds confidence.
Builds confidence. What else does it do?
It sounds like you know what you're talking about too. It runs smoothly and flows.
It flows. And as you may have noticed, these scripts are designed, they didn't just make this, somebody worked on these scripts. It's made to move the conversation forward. And what does scripts and really knowing your words, what's the ultimate thing that it's best for? Which is the
Control the conversation.
Yeah, who's ever in control of the conversation is winning the conversation. And we said your first job in real estate is lead generating and building relationships. Your second job is listening. Okay. And when you know your words, it allows you to listen at a higher level. That's like a coaching thing. If you really know your words, you're not bumbling and stumbling, trying to figure stuff out. It's just going to come out nice and smooth. And now you have the ability to listen at a higher level. So you hear about the dog and you're not worrying that, oh, this neighborhood has a nice dog. Everybody loves their dogs. If you're trying to figure out what you're going to say next, you might just miss that very important piece that now you can bring to your open house and go, I see you have a dog. Ooh, everyone in this neighborhood loves them. So remember, let's make sure that we take the time to do that. So let's move forward a little bit. And thank you, Andrew, for that info. And let me go over to my thing and let's see where we're at. Oops, hold on. Prospects, spread the word. Okay, now, this is another, I think we should go through this campaign piece and then we'll maybe take a break. Brooke, you into that? All right, so this is a really important piece, and this is one of the super duper benefits of being in this company that you're in. It's something called social ad campaigns. Raise your hand, who has been doing campaigns? Or just tell me, shout out, who's been doing them? All right, a little bit of a mix. I want you guys to do campaigns. And they're fantastic to do on open houses. You've got a listing, or you have somebody in your office is allowing, Chuck, you're doing your open house on Sunday. You should have do you have a campaign going, Chuck, right now on your open house to call you out here? Oh. So anyways, I don't know if Chuck, all right. So we want to have a campaign to get people to come to your open house and to get leads. Now, Brooke, do you want to kind of talk a little bit about campaigns, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I love campaigns. We touched on it briefly yesterday, right, guys, when we started talking about how to advertise and marketing, right? What we were doing. If you've got a listing, you want to do that social ad if it's within your budget, right? That is how you're going to reach more people. And if you've never done one, watch a class, go to a class, read up on it, because there are some things, but designs, it's literally drag and drop and you're done. And then everything goes into the meat of the description. It's so fast. It's so fast. You can populate the listing right in and boom, 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 and build it for you. You have to have a few things. You have to have a business Facebook page because we can't advertise on personal. We have to have a credit card inside Command because somebody's got to pay for the ad. And if you're on a team, check with your Rainmaker because they may be doing these things for you as well or as part of your team. So I always say that to my team people, just be careful, check with your Rainmaker before you start advertising because they also may have branding and specific ad sets that they want you to put in. But it is quick. It is quick. But know this, any Facebook ad will take 24 to 48 hours to get approved. And that's not on us. That is on Facebook and all their terms of service. Tomorrow on Thursday, we are having a Facebook checkup class for business. So if you're not sure if your Facebook is up to snuff or is ready to publish ads, come see us tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah, tomorrow is Thursday. I know my calendar up here today.
Right, it says command setup. That's the regional class.
Oh yeah, let me double check. I thought maybe it is next week.
Last week was, the 13th was Facebook checkup. But it's probably recorded somewhere.
Yeah.
No?
And your market center tech trainer can do that for you always too. I do them constantly. Ashley can do them. No, I've got 520 Facebook checkup.
Really? Yeah, I do too. Ours, my calendar must be wrong.
That's
So
okay.
awesome, guys. Get on that tomorrow so that you, if you're doing an open house this weekend, put out a campaign. And the beauty of the campaigns is it's on your business page and it goes out based on some keywords that you can put in. So your friends may not see this campaign, but if you have a property that is on the water or, is near conservation, you can keyword it so that it goes out to those people based on the Facebook, algorithm stuff. And when people click on learn more, that lead goes directly into your contacts and you can call them up, you can text them, you can email them, you can do the whole thing. And that's a way to build your database in a fantastic way to spread the word. All right, any questions on that? I can't stress that enough, this whole piece. Whoop. Campaigns. And if you're doing it if you're doing hosting for another agent in the office, you can pull their listing number right in and it will populate. And it will even say on there, I know in Massachusetts it does, listing courtesy of whoever that person is in the office, so you're cool. But obviously, if you're hosting, you want to make sure that that's okay with them. And you can spend a $30 ad that runs for 10 days, and that'll go, Wednesday to Wednesday, and you'll still continue to get leads on it even after the open house. Would you agree, Brooke?
Absolutely. Because doing the open house the main point of an open house?
Right.
That is probably your least productive time. Is at the open house. It's all the stuff you do before and all the follow-up you do after.
Absolutely. So I don't know, can you do an ad lower than $30?
You can, but I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah.
Because Facebook is not going to push it where it needs to go.
Yeah. So $30. So skip Starbucks for the week. Okay.
Only buy half the cookies for the open house, maybe 2 balloons instead of 10.
Yeah, and get yourself an ad. Start getting in the habit. That's a very, very good return on your investment. You do, and I can't guarantee, but roughly, if you do $30, you probably might get 20 or 25 leads. I've seen it pretty consistent with that. So don't quote me on that. Do your campaigns, watch the leads, make sure you know how to find the leads and get on the horn and call them and say, how can I help you? They may not be able to afford that house, but it's a lead and that's what you need. All right, let's keep moving. Campaigns, we love them. So promote and host. Now we're going to host. Or do we want to take a break or what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's take a quick break, guys. 10-minute break, 8-minute break. What do you want, Deb?
Why don't we do a 10-minute break? And I mean, we're we do have kind of a lot to go. Maybe I'm talking too much, but we'll get it moving along. Let's take a 10-minute break and we'll come back and we'll be ready to rock and roll.
All right, see you guys at 10:20.
All right, awesome. 10:20.
Oh, by the way, Deb, but on the day I'm meeting you for lunch, I'm going to be in your market center all day doing some classes and helping leadership with some other things.
I know, I was so confused on that. I heard that you were coming and I thought I was going. So I guess we're not going to do that, but I want to take you for a little bit of time myself. What are you teaching?
We still have lunch that day. I'm still having lunch with you guys. So you're my concern, and then everybody else is filling in around you and I.
All right, perfect. Okay, great. I didn't know how that went, why that happened. So.
Yep. No, Yun dragged me in.
All right, awesome. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. I gotta get the show on the road. I've got a lot of material left,
I know.
babbling on endlessly.
You know what we can do though? So we went over designs yesterday for marketing. So if you want to skip that part and get to the meat and potatoes of it, we can skip the demo because we have so many things coming up in the tech stuff and in their market centers for command. And we've got all kinds of resources. So if you want to just get to the meat and potatoes and skip over the actual.
Yeah, anything will just, because really it's, they really need to learn how to do it in their own sort of, they can't just 5 seconds learn it, but anyways, okay, we'll get moving through it. Sorry, I'll get moving. How's everybody doing? We are back. Has it been 10 minutes? Couple minutes? We good? Oops.
They're all popping back on.
All right, let's just get her moving on here. All right, guys, welcome back. I hope you had a nice break. So promote and host. So we're going to do some basics, the old basics of the open house. All of the prep work before and after is really what really what's the best impact for you. So let's really just talk about the day-to-day doing the open house and what do we do. Obviously, we're going to build rapport. We're going to qualify leads and we're going to provide some value. So we're going to greet everyone at the door when they walk in. We're not going to be scrolling on our phone. We're going to have guests sign in. And again, we want to make sure that we have some system in place so that people are signing in. I do know that there's a QR code. There's some other things that you can learn in your technical. We want to make sure we have information on the property. And I like this ask probing questions piece a little bit. You want to identify what these folks are doing. Also, you want to be a little careful with your probing questions and you want to be appropriate with what you're asking people and following the guidelines of our equity line and making sure that we're not, kind of crossing over the line and asking too many questions about people. You just never, you never know what is in people's world. We want to identify willingness and, what are the buyers or what are they? Are they buyers and are they sellers? And how do we qualify them, right? We want to determine are they A, B, or C people, just like way back in the beginning, we want to qualify people. So, obviously we want to have some neighborhood snapshots in your phone and make sure you can share that in your mobile app and all of that good stuff. So, as we move forward, hold on, geez. So we want to capture the lead. Obviously, you want to add a new contact. All of this, the most important thing about doing all of this is capturing people's information and making sure you're keeping track of everyone. And then, this is how you're going to follow up and build your database by meeting new people. You certainly, within your toolkit, you have the good old paper, form that people can sign up. You have, you can add it in your database on your phone. There's other ways that you can do it within the system, and your technical trainer at your office can show you how to create a neighborhood landing page where people can sign in from there. And that's an extremely good tool. So just make sure you're reaching out and setting yourself up for success under this prospecting piece. You've worked hard. You've done a lot of work on this open house for free, by the way. So let's just make sure that we are doing everything we can to capture people and make sure you're making a great impression. All right, some of the basic safety things. Let's talk a little bit about safety. It's the key to showing homes, doing open houses. Before, during, and after the open house, you always must be aware of your surroundings. Very helpful to, and also in the Element Toolkit, there's a safety handout you might want to pull up and take a peek at. Always helpful to meet the neighbors. Never turn your back on a prospect. And that's just real estate 101. If you haven't had a safety class in your market center, organize one. always sort of have a little escape route. It sounds a little weird, but these things we need to know. You don't want to be trapped upstairs with someone. Obviously, let someone know where you are at. And of course, now with COVID, there's usually 2 people at every open house. And you want to make sure that your cell phone is charged at all times. I have a policy. I generally don't like to go down the basement with people. No, you guys go down. I'm not a basement girl. Never ever walk down, never be in front of anybody. Anybody have any questions on that or any experiences or ahas about that?
It would probably be not a good thing if you have your license to carry and you have it on you, right?
I don't think
In terms of safe, in terms of safety.
That's a discussion you can have with your market center.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause they have, some have policies on it, some don't, but that's that's one for the market center.
Yeah. I've talked to your broker of record, and let's make sure we're doing everything we need to be. Just be very, very aware also of what's happening, what's happening at the property, who's who, what's everybody doing. Also make sure, and you would do this with your listing agent, with your sellers, or have the listing agent, sellers should put away valuables and take their drugs out of their medicine cabinet. That's a thing people do. They go to open houses and take the kid into the bathroom and kind of do that. So just always be careful about all of that. So we're going to follow up, and we're going to convert the old engaging in the system whereby you can stay in control of the contacts and on a consistent basis. And don't worry about where the lead says, if you have a particular buyer or seller, don't worry about the fact that they say, I'm not going to buy, I'm just looking. That's a safety net for them. Always stay in contact with them and get them into your database immediately. And obviously you want to do some kind of categorizing of them. The very next thing you want to do is make sure you get them onto a smart plan. If you haven't engaged in smart plans, let's get going on the smart plans. Let's get every single person in your world into your database. You're never going to hear us stop talking about that, ever. You have a fantastic amount of technology behind you, and it doesn't work if you don't have your database in your system. Get everybody in there, and it works miraculously. And you will just trip over business simply by having smart plans going. So let's make sure that we're putting them into that piece. So what are some best practices? Here's some other things that might be helpful in terms of getting people to your open house and making them as effective as possible. You really want to stand out at your open house, consider these tips, right? How about have a host a speaker, or have somebody come along, with you. Again, this is another person in the house. How about a general contractor or a home stager or somebody to draw a crowd? What about a lender? That might be a good idea as well.
Hey, Deb, sorry to interrupt. How does that work? Like, do they actually have a speech? Or are they kind of just there to answer questions if people have it?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, you have a discussion with somebody. I mean, often lenders like to come. It gives them an opportunity to be in front of a buyer. Just make sure they don't take over your open house and start, being a little too hard on, little people coming through to see the house. They can get a little too, just put the expectation out there. Say, you're here just as a resource and great introduction. Here's some cards and it's all good. Some people are very interested in talking to lenders, and it can be a great resource for you. Kind of gives you somebody to help you as you have more clients coming and going. So is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so you set it up the way you want it to be. I think a home stager would be awesome. Landscaper, I guess it would depend on the home. And these are all vendors that you have in your database. This is, again, how you build your database and working with other business partners that can help you. You help them, they help you. It's always a good thing. How about offering a gift? What are everybody's thoughts on that? A raffle or something? Has anybody had any experience with that? That can be a little bit cool. You can do, you can have a, Easter egg hunt or something. I mean, people really are doing some pretty interesting things out there.
Yeah, Deb, let me tell you about some things some of the agents in my productivity program were doing.
All right, let's hear it.
Amazon gift cards, but they were doing them as e-gift cards because what do you need to give it to them?
Their email.
So what they were doing was they were doing an e-gift card, but also printing a copy with the address and putting it in the mail with a thank you for coming to the open house. Congratulations on winning. Here's a copy of the card if you did not get it in your email. But by entering the contest on the Google form, they were also agreeing to be contacted by the agent for any and all promotions and could unsubscribe at any time. And those fields were required.
Okay, so they created a little raffle. You come to our open house and you get entered into this raffle. Is that how it went?
Yep.
All right, love it. So that could be your door knocking script as well. Hey, just wanted to invite you to our open house. We're going to be doing a raffle for an Amazon e-card. Come on by and bring a neighbor. Love to see you.
Yeah, and we didn't say e-card. We just said Amazon
gift card
because we do email those out. And then you verify the info with them when they put it in just to make sure it's correct. If you're doing paper, just make sure you can read it as well. It's why I love digital open house sign-ins, because you can actually read it.
Yeah, so let's make sure we understand our how to have a digital open house sign in. I guess it's a landing page, right? I love that idea. Who wants to put that into effect? Me. Have your lender who's visiting maybe sponsor your little Amazon gift card. Brooke, how much was it? Did you give did they give just one? How does it work?
One, and it was just 25. And right now, because there's not really supposed to be eating with masks on, this was, you're not buying waters, you're not buying cookies and all the food to go in the open houses. Yep. So they were doing this instead of it. And because of the lines we're seeing right now, one of the open house assistants would go down the line and check people in with an iPad and verbally get it from people as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of people coming to open houses. A lot of them are represented by agents. And I think it's okay to say some of them just make up an agent so that they don't get bugged by you. So, grab their information. I think that's the best thing I've heard all day. I love that. I'm putting that into, I'm stealing that immediately and putting that right into play. Yes, and yeah, you're not paying as much. And again, you want every bang for everything you do. Your highest return on investment is this week of your open house. All right, so we're going to also get the house in shape. Let's just make sure everything looks tidy and, it's, and that's really up to the listing agent if you're just hosting, but let's make sure everything looks good, smells good. They have the whole fresh baked cookies thing here, but I don't know if we're really doing that. And let's go live. Engage your social media. Go live when you're at this open house. Do it.
You know why that's important? Do you know why that's huge? Why? Because it's the only way you can notify everyone on your Facebook that you're doing something for free.
Yeah.
And it can be natural and fun, and just don't go too fast, because I get motion sickness and will barf looking at your video. So go kind of slow and pan nice and be natural and don't be scripted, and just say, I am here at the gorgeous 347 Main Street. Let me give you a sneak peek of the backyard. I'm going to be here from ... Hope to see you soon.
Right. And you're going to say, I am here with Adrienne and Pam. So you're not there by yourself going live. I'm all by myself in this 8,000 square foot home. Come see me. We're not
with the creepy basement and these old dolls.
That we're going to pan around. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, we lost. Oh no, Deb, we're losing you.
Uh-oh, hold on. No, we're not losing me. Hold on, hold
Oh,
on.
you're back. You're good.
I
There
think
you
I
go.
see why. I have something open. I gotta get it. If I have one thing open, I'm in trouble. It's yeah, I've got an extender. It's just gotta go on. So yeah, let's go live. And if you have to go live and you are by yourself, let's make sure you don't go live until someone is there. Make sure there's a couple people there and just do it. Be super natural. It's really a great fun thing. And just be fun and just be casual. It's Facebook people, it's not, right. So best practices, do's and don'ts. We already went through this a little bit. Welcome visitors at the door. Get the house in ship shape. Safety. Don't leave valuables around. Don't be eating snacks and don't make assumptions about anybody coming in the door. Right? Oh, hold on. So here's some things we want to bring. This is very important and this is in your package. Disinfectant wipes, I guess toilet paper, paper towels, pens, air fresheners, extra business cards, backup battery charger, measuring tape, trash bags, and tissues. A lot of people have a little, plastic container right in their trunk with all this stuff. Also in Massachusetts, I don't know what state you're in. If you're the listing agent, you have to have one disclosure. If you're hosting, you have to have a second disclosure posted. Print those, put them in a cute little frame from somewhere and have it all the time in your box.
Yeah, and I also suggest a flashlight.
Yep.
Binoculars. And in the chat, I put my favorite battery pack. I give these away as gifts all the time with this multi-charger and this little brick. And I keep those charged up and I rotate them out of my junk in the trunk. That's what I call my box that's in the trunk, my junk in the trunk. With everything that I need. I also put Fix-A-Flat in there. If you don't have Fix-A-Flat in New England, you cry. Everybody should have Fix-A-Flat with the poles.
Maybe a little first aid kit, Band-Aids, just use some common sense and make sure that you're doing what you need to do. Any
How
other
about some
thoughts?
booties? If it's a rainy day, we'd like to have those booties that they have on Amazon.
Booties, absolutely. Yeah, let's just make sure. And when you leave, take your stuff with you. And I have a pet peeve. Don't be walking around with this Dunkin' Donut cup of coffee. I don't know why. Let's be professional at all times. So we want to have a really high level. Any questions on that? All right. So the other thing, let's get there, arrive early. Don't be getting there at 5 minutes of 1. Let's get there 1/2 hour early at least. Get all the lights on, open the doors a little ajar so people are not touching things as much. Turn on all the lights, open the curtains, make it fresh, open the windows, make sure you're doing everything you need to do to really show this property at its highest level. Get your computer plugged in, get your MLS up so that people can, somebody might be talking about another property. You want to be able to jump on an MLS and show them what's going on. Find out if they're looking at other open houses, engage, make sure that you're doing what you need to do to make this as a successful of a day as possible. Now we're going to do a little follow-up. Any questions so far? Any pressing concerns? All right, let's do a little follow-up here. So following up on an open house could mean putting them on a neighborhood nurture plan, an 8x8, or writing them a handwritten note. I'm a big handwritten note person. You're talking to someone, they live around the corner, get some handwritten notes. Thank you for coming to my open house. Here's my business card. Looking forward to seeing you. It's call me if you need any help. Let's make sure that we're really before, during, and after. Now this is after here. We're obviously doing our open house. We're heading out the door at some point. We want to make sure that we're putting everything together as a plan. We're going to be, your main goal is to get into relationships with these people. You want them to know you, like you. We practiced our scripts and we're doing really well. What do you think about this piece here? Prospecting and marketing, leads, contacts, cultivate. What do you think about this graphic here?
Can't see. What graphic are you referring to?
Oh, are we not on screen share?
No.
Oh,
No,
all right.
I think when your internet went haywire for a second.
All right. I think I need to screen share. How we doing? Wake up, Deborah. All right. So lead generating model. Here we go. Lead generating database, sales pipeline. So this is how we feed this piece right here, guys. Right? Make sure you're getting everybody in there. It kind of goes without saying. So what have you learned? Okay. Given what you've learned today, what do you think your strengths will be when it comes to hosting open houses? What do you think is going to be your strength at your open house? Now I feel like I'm
Personally, I know I do well just like interacting with someone face to face. So I think that'll be a good piece for me. Again, I need to figure out what Maine's rules are, see if things are opening up anytime soon, but I'm definitely looking forward to doing some open houses.
Yeah, I have a feeling you guys are dying to do open houses.
Yeah, we are, especially these new agents. We're like,
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, you know, face to face, what is it? Nose to nose, toes to toes. That's the best way to build a relationship and lead generate for sure. What else? Who else has some thoughts on that? What do you think you're going to bring to your open house?
I think looking at it from a buyer's point of view too, from the house, when you walk around the house, the vibe you get, the feeling you get, and trying to make it not personalized and make it look more, I was in hospitality, more like a hotel room or, you know, something in that way that.
Right, so you feel like you can bring that to the table, help them sort of stage it a little bit, neutralize it. Right.
Because I think that definitely is important, because people come in there and they say dumb things, even as you see on TV, but like, oh, I hate that couch. And you're saying the couch isn't even going to stay.
Yeah, I know. It is a funny part of that. People do have a little hard time looking through some of those things. So, yeah. So I'm still thinking about that Amazon gift card idea. That's great. So, all right, let's move on here. Let's see. So we're going to thinking back to your database and your goals about growing your business. How do you feel about adding 2 or more customers for life to your database from an open house? What would that do for your business? What if you met 2 people at an open house that really you connected with? What would that do for you?
I mean, those could be 2 potential lifelong clients. I mean, this could be multiple, you know, closings due to that one interaction.
Right, absolutely. And you do have people for life, and that's exactly right. Cool.
Or they may refer you. I mean, you never know.
Well, that's what it's all about. Real estate is all about all of the above, you know, and it can start as a new agent right at this open house piece. So, goal of our time together is to help you think, feel, act, and use what you've learned and ignite your passion and help you achieve your big why. Okay, right. Okay, so what? All right, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling a little bit. I got lost a little, but I'm here. All right. How has your thinking changed today regarding open house? What ideas or mindsets were new? Let's do a little recap in mid thing here.
I will say I really like the idea of like hosting a speaker or kind of like co-hosting with, you know, someone else in the industry. I really want to build like a strong like referral program, not only with like other agents, you know, in real estate, but with like lenders and, you know, be able to grow my business that way. So I like that idea a lot.
Absolutely. I think that's wonderful. And you will build a big business if you start with lenders and contractors and electricians and everybody in your world. Anybody related to a house, I think is important. So who feels differently? What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful for you guys today? Anything in particular that really made you feel differently about open houses?
I just feel more comfortable knowing that you guys gave us information on how to approach volunteering open houses, what to bring, and how to be prepared for it. I actually do want to go into it now and just maybe get my feet wet.
Oh, good. So you crossed over into open house world. I love open houses, and they're, yeah, and I'm glad we were able to help you move forward on that. How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take going forward? Let's have some thoughts on that. How will your behaviors be different going forward in the open house world, and what actions will you take going forward? Action items. No classes aren't anything unless you do some action items.
Definitely going to start with my market center and see what they have and who is available to help me push forward with open houses. I think that's a good
Awesome.
lead. Yep.
Yeah. Who else has something, action item that they're going to do today?
I think being prepared, research, if you're going to help on an open house, or just research the house ahead of time and have a general understanding. I had shadowed like my first week and I had no idea what I was doing. And I think it's very eye-opening because the buyers that come in, or the customers, they ask a lot of questions. And it's helpful to have a general idea if you didn't have a chance to read whatever the listing agent, presented. So, and to be as confident in your delivery as you can.
Right. Being confident is helpful. Again, you don't have to know everything. You just have to be the source to help them. And I like that action, making that conscious decision. So what tools, models, or systems will you definitely use? How will they make you accountable? What models or systems will you use as you move forward?
I think I'll definitely utilize the campaigns. I mean, if you're going to host an event, you want to be able to generate as many leads from it as you can. So might as well, market it and promote it.
I agree 100%. What else? Who else is going to use some sort of a tool, model, or system to help them get better?
I like the flyers for door knocking, especially if you're going to be hosting an open house, but gently, telling them, there'll be a lot of traffic, and they'll, even asking them probing questions. What's your favorite thing about this neighborhood? Telling them how beautiful, this neighborhood is beautiful. Do you love the parks nearby? Or to get information that way as well from a source.
So that's going to be a tool you're going to use, the flyer, and just on your door knocking piece. One more thing that a tool, model, or system that you will definitely use. Campaigns. One more.
Somebody said campaigns. Did you hear that?
He had said campaigns first. We have campaigns, we have flyers. What else? What else is a good tool or model or system that will really help you, that you're going to take away from this class?
I'm going to steal the gift idea too. I like that a lot. If someone wants to qualify for a potential gift, they got to be able to provide a certain amount of whatever information you want to get from them, and good way to get it.
Yeah. Maybe a little funny thing. Some open houses, I know they'll have little tiny clipboards that they hand to people. And what do you like about the house? What don't you? What's your favorite sports, Bruins play? Whatever. Make it kind of fun, and then email, and that's their drawing. And I think that's awesome. So basically, one more thing I would like to add is let's make sure we know our words and we're practicing our scripts. If you want to put some, tool into place, it would be, let's make sure we're practicing these scripts. Again, it doesn't take 12 years. It only takes a few times doing those scripts, and they really come out much easier. Trust me on that one. Just keep moving forward. You'll be fine with them, and they will become very natural to you. So what are our daily habits? Hello. Elementals, goal to set your career on track here. We want to add 10 contacts a day. We're having 10 conversations a day. 10 handwritten notes, and 10 preview of homes. We're going to script practice, lead gen, update contacts, all of the above. We're never, ever going to stop saying that. And when you do open houses, perfect opportunity to have your handwritten notes, door knocking, leaving flyers, all of that is going to create a nice little farming group for you for this particular neighborhood. So where are we? Okay, we all know these things: lead generate, uncover motivations. Why is it important to learn, internalize, and personalize scripts? We've talked about this a little bit, but let's talk about it a little bit more. Why is it important? I'm one of those coaches that just won't talk until somebody does.
I know you play me like that all the time, and I know this answer. Somebody else, let's go, or I'm going to pick on you.
So you're not thinking of the next thing to say. You've already got it.
Yeah, exactly. And that is something that we don't hear a lot of, but that is exactly what's happening. You know, a doctor learns about the anatomy, about working with patients. Agents need to learn scripts to prepare meaning conversations. Again, somebody put these scripts together. They didn't just for 12 minutes put them together. There was a lot of work putting these things together, and they have a start, middle, and end. And at the end, it should result in something. And what's the most important thing we want to have at the end of a conversation? Your third thing you need in your business: lead generate, listening. I added that one in. And what's the third thing?
Leverage.
Yes. What else?
Appointments.
Oh, yes. Who said that?
Mike for the win.
Mike for the win. You can have every Facebook thing in the world. You can have balloons and everything going. But if you never have an appointment with anybody, let's not forget that piece. I don't care if Tom Brady's what, you need to have appointments. Okay. I don't care who's, that's something that we often forget when we're talking to people. How about we get together for a strategy session? I know you're not going to sell for 4 years. Let's get together and put together a plan now. I know your kids are, you have brand new babies, but that's what I do. I'd like to come over and help you put together a plan. So we're going to lead generate. We're going to always uncover motivation. Scripts help identify objections, and it does help you close deals or close appointments. I want to see everybody adding to their 4 things. You want to add contacts, you want to have conversations every day, you want to have handwritten notes, and obviously you want to preview. I want you guys to know every single property in your area, how much it's sold for, what it smells like, what the neighbors look like. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you know everything, because people are going to ask you those questions. And then we want to make sure number 5 is make appointments with people, have coffee, all of those things. You want to make sure that happens. This is going to, it's going to help you communicate your value to people, and it will do. Adrian, I don't know who your friend is, so the name isn't up here, but you said building relationships and for a lifetime and getting referrals. What's your name?
My name is Samantha. I'm his fiance. We're on the same team together.
Who's Adrian? Is Adrian you? I thought it was.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm Adrian.
I'm sorry. I thought that was her name. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I know
Yeah.
that's a interchangeable one.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to have, like you had said previously, you want people for your lifetime, and that's how you do it. So let's keep moving on. We got some more scripts to play. What's the next piece? Open house scripts. Let's do that. You want to go back into some breakout rooms and do some scripts?
Yeah, Deb, you want to cue them up with one particular to focus on?
All right, I think we had a little trouble before. One open house script from the Element script book. What do we want to do? Do we have one we can just share with them?
That's where I'm jumping to. Let me see.
See what you can come up with.
I'm wondering if we do.
Well, choose one of the open house scripts, elemental script book. Oh, do I have it here?
Yeah, so I had provided, if you guys are in your resources, I combined everything. Let's see. Students. Ignite script book. All right, open house script. So if you are in the one I provided.
All right, the one from this earlier.
Yeah, let me just, I've got negotiation.
I would say probably something. Let's see, let me see, what do I have? Sorry, guys, hang tight. We're getting there.
Open.
Thank you, Brooke, for helping me on this.
No problem. I'm just trying to see which one I like better. That would make more sense.
Yeah, sort of your basic.
Staging, pricing, listing. Why are these so small? All right, let's see. It's on page 42. So we did the invite the neighbors thing kind of already.
Yeah, I like that one. That was helpful.
Let's do follow-up. The after follow-up, because guys, you can do open houses till you're blue in the face. If you don't call the people, what are you doing? If you're not following up with smart plans, what are you doing?
So you have it in here. Okay, so you put the script in the thing here. I like it.
The other thing I want you guys to think about too is adding an open house smart plan follow-up. There's one that already exists in the library that is bueno. It is perfect. Perfect. And you stop it once they respond, but it hits them with texts, emails, and it tells you what to say, and it tells you what to type. And it's just so easy.
Right.
So I am saying that these are unrepresented buyers who just happened to jog their little booties by your open house and came in, okay?
Right.
Let me get those breakout rooms.
So what we're going to do, guys, I'd like to see in the rooms, each of you sort of take turns reading the script out loud and then go into scripts and role play, you know, and take turns. And I think reading it out loud first is helpful rather than just reading it on the first one. So let's make sure we do that. So how long are we going to do? What do you think for time here?
You think 15 is too long and then we'll come back, or no?
No, I think 15 is good because we're really, you know, kind of wrapping up here a little bit. And then there's the other one on more role play. So yeah, let's do 15.
All right, here you go. They're all open.
Let's see what everybody's doing here. Go into a different one. It's this one here.
Room 1 is light.
All right, let me go up there.
And I'm going to move Nina because it looks like she was all by herself. So let me move her.
All right, I'll go to room 1.
Awesome.
Hey, guys, how are you? How did it go? Oh, where is everybody? We're losing people.
Sometimes the coming back is slow.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if they didn't hit the button and it's pulling them back. It takes a minute to bring everybody back. I want to make sure you saw, I didn't want to answer this in the chat because we were focusing on unrepresented buyers during this. So I didn't want anybody to chat, but I was hoping you could see Andrew's question about somebody who says they are represented.
Yeah, how do we handle that piece? What do you guys think?
Oh, great. Who's your
Can
agent?
you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
So we're talking about the scripting was basically having an unrepresented buyer come to our open house. So we're going to call them and, you know, just say, hey, how can I help you? And are you looking, you know, to buy or, you know, all of that. The question was, what do we do when somebody says, I am working with an agent? What is that script? And it is that script in the script book. I'm not sure.
We have to respect that process. And we have to inform the seller that we are willing to talk, the buyer, that we are willing to speak with their agent on if the agent should have any questions regarding the property. It's important that we not try and take that client away from another agent.
Absolutely not. That is breaking the code of ethics here in real estate. What else do we do? Well, how do we handle it though? What do we say? What do you guys think?
I always think it's important to remember your first priority is to make sure are they interested in the house? And if they have an agent, you respect that agency and follow up with the agent.
Exactly. What else? What else do we do? What do we say on our follow-up? Do we call the people? What does everybody think about that?
I would say no. I would say that it would not be unreasonable to call the agent and let them know their client stepped in, but I do not believe that we should have any contact with the people.
What does everybody else think? Does anybody have any experience on that or heard anything in their market center? What is the general thoughts on that?
I mean, I usually, the open houses that I've done is I, introduce myself and then ask them their name. And I, ask them if they're working with an agent. And if they say yes, and be like, great, let me just get your agent's name and I don't need any more information from you. And I can, certainly follow up with your agent. There's a couple documents online. They can get those for you. They have full access in MLS or something to that effect. But I don't even get their contact information. I get their agent's information.
I always preface with, when I introduce myself and they introduce themselves, I always say, will your agent be joining you? And that's their segue into saying, yes, they will, or no, I don't have an agent.
I like that.
So I think we're frozen, but I think that we will remember that if the buyer is represented, we want to make sure that we respond to their agent and not to them. We don't want to call. And if they're not represented, there you go. But personally, when you make that follow-up call, make sure you get feedback about the house first, because if you jump into your deal and they're ready to buy the house, then you trip yourself up. Right?
Right.
Just trying to cover while you were frozen up there.
Yeah, I've done pretty well and now I'm starting to lose. So I don't know what's going on with my system here. It's a little bit of a problem and I apologize, but at least I came back last time.
It happens.
Yeah, it's frustrating. So yeah, we always have to respect the contracts that our co-workers have. Buyers and sellers come and go. but real estate agents stay around for a long time. And you want to make sure that you're always acting in the highest level of professionalism within our group. And after the open house, it's absolutely positively call their agent and say, hey, so-and-so stopped by my open house today over at 17 Main Street, and I really think they liked it. Could you, you might want to reach out, because that buyer agent may not know they were floating around today. I mean, they may, but they may not. And to have that feedback is really helpful for them. And so did we answer that question, you guys? What do you think? Pretty clear? All right, let me see if I can't get back to my screen share. I'm definitely having, I think when I screen share, for some reason, I'm starting to lose things. Let's catch up on where I was. Somebody can figure out where I was here. So we've done that. Reviewing this always. Oh, now we have another lead generating calling scripts. Do we want to go back into another script practice or no? What do you guys want? I mean, I feel like we're kind of moving along to that piece of the program. It's all, the rest of it is all that.
How about this? How about we try something new today?
Thank you, because I'm struggling.
How about y'all make some friends? How about you pair yourselves up in the Facebook group, or you find a script partner in here and you pick a time to do these lead gen ones. So instead of worrying about the region putting one on or what's going on in your market center, why don't you make some friends? The people who are left.
All right, what would be a good way to do that? Would you?
Well, who wants, like, I would love it if you guys all could. Like, this is the one thing that is going to make you so good, because if you're all doing open houses as new agents, right? So
we have 20 people, 22 people on the program. Let's show of hands. Who wants to, let's say, who wants a script partner? Let's connect some people here.
Yep, throw your reactions up or your physical hands. All right, Pam and Keith, give each other your numbers.
We're setting you guys up right now. Pam and Keith.
Nick and Sam.
Done.
Okay.
So Pam and Keith. And Nina has her hand up. And
all right,
Drew.
Nina and Drew.
Nice. Who else?
617. Let me just put this in the chat. 82414. 617-827-4114. Let's blow that up. That's Keith for Pam.
All right.
Nick put his in. What I'd love for you guys to do is try to lead gen practice today, these scripts. And what I'll do is I'm going to put a post out later in the Facebook group. And can you come back in and give me some ahas?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So snag a phone number if you guys want to get on a big old Facebook group chat or open your own Google Rooms, do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, so who knows Diane Davidson with Fine Homes Group? Has anybody ever heard that name? She's out of Boston and Bedford. She has probably attended more bowls than I've been alive, and she still has script partners, and she's been doing this forever and a day.
Right.
And she loves new script partners because they shake things up for her. And don't forget to get mean, not too mean.
I mean, I agree with that, Brooke. We're all very, oh, sure, I want to come buy a house. Let's make sure that we take some time and be a little bit difficult and throw some curveballs for sure. All right, is everybody connected? So from what I can see on the program, it's basically lead gen time. So how do we do that? Do we break out into rooms? Do we just leave our video on and make calls, or what do we do?
We kick them out and we check the 10-4. That's it. We kick them out and then we check the 10-4.
How about you put us, can you match me and Pam up as a group so we can do it on Zoom?
Like right now, can you?
Like right now, let's make this happen. Pam,
let's do it right now.
Hold on one
Oh.
sec. Let me just make sure that the region doesn't have anything coming up. Nope, you guys are good. So breakout rooms.
So you're gonna match those people up?
Yeah, let me count down. All right, so delete room. Yes, it'll take me just a minute because it's trying to auto pair you.
Oh, okay.
Room, delete room, delete room. Okay, add room. Assign.
Do we have a particular topic? How do you guys want to proceed?
It's your Legion scripts, right?
Oh, yeah.
Keith and who? I'm sorry, because I can't remember.
It was Keith and Pam.
Keith and Pam. Okay. And then it was Nick and Sam.
Yeah.
Nick and Sam dropped off.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Who else wants to go in a breakout room with their buddy? Drew?
So it's Drew and me. I think he's on a call right now. Are you
Okay.
on a call?
Drew and Nina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drew and Nina.
All right, let me. No. Okay, who else?
Hard because you don't know if people.
I
You
can
can
do
put
if
me in a
someone wants to do
breakout
it, I'll
room.
do it.
I don't mind.
I'll do it with someone.
All right, Aaron and Nick.
Oh, sweet.
It's blocking my chat, so that's why I can't see anymore. Anybody else?
I don't mind going on with anyone.
Is
How
that
about-
Sheena?
Sheena?
Yes,
Sheena, you want to go on? Is Brian on here? He's usually up for anything.
Yeah.
Brian, you want to role play? Or
Mike
Mike?
Mahoney raised his hand.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good.
Okay. All right, and then one more, Brian and someone else. Who's on? I cannot see faces.
All right, so we've got Andrew.
Oh, we'll do
Joanne.
Amaryllis. I see you. You can't hide from me. All right. And if you guys want to jump in the rooms below, the breakout rooms, if you're still here, you can see the breakout rooms below.
Where?
So you should see breakout rooms once I click open.
Yeah, so
Oh,
jump
there we
into
go.
some.
Yep. So I put the first one on for 15 and then we can come back.
Oh, I see. Broadcast message to all.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So I feel like I'm just flat. I'm flat here in the end.
You're not. You're doing great.
Right.
The elementals are a little weird and not as long. It's meant so
Right.
sometimes we just send them off on their own like this.
Yeah, and I think it's important for, oh, look at, okay, those two cooked, yeah. Maybe I'll jump in to see if nobody's in this first one, so that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no, I've only got 4 rooms open. So room 7, 8, 9, and 10.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so I just paired them up in there.
Brooke, which one do you have me in, Andrew?
Yeah, you did. I did not put you in one. You want to jump in with Deb?
Yeah, put me in
Yeah.
with Andrew and we'll talk, we'll do it.
Let me see.
Or I can,
Yeah.
I
might be.
cannot. You're gonna have to do it here because I pre-created them. So I will mute and off you go. Just right here.
all right, so Andrew,
Okay. Yeah, let me get my camera back on. I was sorry, I'm in the middle of doing some other stuff while we're doing this, and I just don't want to distract anybody.
that's okay. So
Yeah.
I'll be an what are we doing? Unrepresented buyer. Follow up. Let's just do that one. Unrepresented buyer follow up from the open house. So I came to your open house and now you're calling me later in the day to say hi and follow up.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't have the scripts with me, but like I said, I just try to, I guess, wing it.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll wing it for now, but we're going to make sure that you do your scripts at some point and get that on your calendar.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop my video so we can do it that way. So go ahead.
Okay, so ring.
Hello, this is Debbie.
Hey Deb, this is Andrew Muchinguzi with Keller Williams Realty. I did meet you today at the open house that I had on 74 Lakeshore Drive.
Oh, yeah. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you and thank you for showing up at the open house. I really appreciate you coming through and looking at the property. And I just want to kind of get your thoughts on the house. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a nice house, but it's really just too big for me. I really don't want that big yard to take care of. So I don't really think it's really a good fit for me.
Okay, no, I do understand that. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit really. If you're not feel comfortable, yeah, there's no reason why you'd be doing anything. I wouldn't do it either. So what I want to talk to you about was trying to see if I can go out there and look for something that would fit your the description of a perfect home or what you're trying to look for. So I do have plenty of resources, and I can always go up there and to MLS and just try to see if we can get you into something that you'd really love. Is there any specific things that you'd like in your house?
I'm not sure. We're not really sure what we're going to do quite yet. We've been in our house for a while, so we're not really sure of our plans. It seems like a good market, but we really don't know what to do. We're not sure. We're not really doing anything right now.
Okay. Yeah, that I do understand that. That's perfectly fine with all the stuff that's going on lately. I don't blame you for feeling that way. But what I'm gonna do for you is I just want to let you know that I could be a resource for you for any time you guys make up your minds and decide to make that jump from either you're gonna sell or buy. I just want you to keep me in mind, and the only thing I can think of that would help the both of us is if I keep you on some kind of well, I'm gonna put you on my my VIP list of people that do get in touch to you on a regular basis, kind of give you what's going, give you some updates on the neighborhoods, your neighborhood, different neighborhoods you might want to move into, kind of try to, keep you posted on what's going on in the real estate world. I can give you statistics and figures and, anything that you'd like to know. Is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Yeah, that's okay. As long as I don't get a lot of stuff I don't want, you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to bug me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to spam you or anything. The only thing I'm gonna need from you is an email address, and I already did get your phone number when you signed in at the open house, an email address, and just your permission for me to be able to do that.
Yeah, I guess that would be okay. I don't have any problem with that.
Okay. And yeah, if you don't mind, I can take it right now.
Yep, I'll give it to you now. It's blah, blah, blah at gmail.com.
All right.
So
I
how
really...
do you, go ahead.
Right, I was gonna thank you. I really appreciate it for you doing that.
Right, so I always time my scripting out on people.
Okay.
So how do you think that went? For having
I think it could have been better if I actually knew what the script was about, like what I was trying to get to. I wasn't sure if I was talking to, I knew somebody who came to the open house, but I wasn't sure if it was somebody who already had an agent or this was somebody that I just didn't have, had no representation, and I'm just kind of doing a follow-up just to see if I can potentially try to get them as a client down the road. So I was kind of bouncing a little bit.
Yep, and you do bounce when you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And that's what people do, and that's okay, and that's how we learn. As a seller, as a buyer who came to your open house, I felt you were I didn't think you were stumbling as much as I think you were.
Okay.
You made sense, and you were very helpful. You said, I understand and I hear you, which is important. I said something that I don't know if you picked up on, and you can't pick up when you don't know what you're saying because you're trying to figure out what to say. I had said, we're not sure what we're going to do, and I indicated that I had a home. Yeah, we're not sure what we're going to do. We might stay here, might have been a good opportunity for you to go, oh, now you have somebody that might want to sell. So, but it did sound smooth to me. It didn't seem like you were struggling. Watching you, I could tell. But, again, the more clear we are on, because people are either buying or selling, it's really, and I think asking a few more questions is better than, no, you didn't, I don't think you talked too much. I thought it was just about right. So I think getting your scripts out and putting a little time in and finding a script partner whether it's in your market center,
Okay.
and it's simply a 15-minute thing. If you did it every morning at 8 o'clock while you're driving to the office, it
Mhm.
might not be a bad idea. So, you know, just the more you, and basically you don't call that person, say, hey, how's it going? What's going on? And talk for 15 minutes. You text first and you say, whoever it is, somebody, a friend at the office, say, hey, I'm going to be an agent. Can you be a seller? And they'll just go, okay. And then you just go right into this pretend thing. And you
Okay.
do it like that. And then they'll take turns and say, okay, now why don't you be a for sale by owner and I'll be the agent. And then you're the for sale by owner. And then you just do that every day and take turns, but be really efficient about it. Before you know it, I'm telling you, it won't take you long to get used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would make that recommendation. Get into some sort of a system with somebody that's going to help you with it. And as I said, it comes to you fairly quickly, and your instincts start to kick in. Once you have sort of the words, then you hear these little tells that people say, and then all of a sudden you'll go, and you kind of you'll switch over a little bit. So that works out. So
yeah, it's definitely something I thought about doing, and I know everybody harps on it, but for some reason, sometimes we don't really get on it like we should. But I know my coaches, I do have one, and then the TL that does a lot of coaching for our street, they always push it, and they all do script practice at the level at which they are. They still do script practice with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely something that I need to harp on, and also get my scripts all figured out. I do have a few from the first thing I did Ignite before a few months ago, and I did make prints, but I didn't do. There's a where is it? I don't even have it on. I do have my productivity bootcamp thing that I use, but I do have some of the Ignite scripts from the one that I did before, but I could use some more scripts.
Yeah, maybe go back in and print out the entire script book and have it. And then just staple it together and just have it with you and just sort of read them and practice them. And, maybe in your market center, find 2 or 3 of your newer people and just say, hey guys, let's start a little thing. Let's jump on Zoom, independently, just 4 of you, and just do like we're doing, just take turns. And, before you know it, you're going to help them. They're going to help you. And before you know it, you'll be just buzzing along and doing business for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely will do that. And we can get the script book on the Facebook page, right?
Yes. Yeah. And if we really look in the chat, way, I might not have it because I lost connection.
Yeah.
But I think way here.
Oh yeah.
Materials.
I'm looking at it. It says link to full script book.
Yeah. So I think it's a little bit of it. I think it's just a good practice to get that whole workbook, put it in a binder. There you go, Brooke's on it. And then there's a Facebook group. Also, Brooke, can you post the YouTube channel where people can watch old, different?
Yeah, I don't have the link fast. I don't know if it's us as a whole, but I'm struggling when I put my video on. My whole system is stopping today. I don't know what's going on. But that is right on that Facebook group page. So if you like the Facebook group, you can find everything in there as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I do think people want to kind of go back and find one, like, oh, I want to go watch that one, and then it's hard to locate for me or people, I guess. So, anyways, so those breakout rooms kind of hop back in.
Yeah, they have almost 4 minutes left.
All right. And then we'll just have them move along, let them go do their thing, make their calls.
Yeah.
I guess encourage everybody, even if they just find 2 or 3 or 4 people in their own office, just, hey, let's set up a little Zoom and do some scripting together.
And I always say, don't do script practice with friends.
Yeah. How about just calling regular people? And that's script practicing.
Right? And you're doing your lead gen.
Yep. Yep.
No, Deb, I had posted a question in the chat room. I don't know if you actually answered this because I was a little distracted for a while. The one about what you say to clients that come into an open house and they already do have an agent. if they don't have the agent with them, I just went to one this weekend, and pretty much almost everybody had an agent, more than half
Yeah.
of all the people, and a lot of them actually came with the agent. But then I had a couple that say they do have an agent, and I was kind of stuck on, okay, where can I go? What can I say
Right.
here, and what can I not? I didn't really say
Well-
anything. I literally just stopped, but I just gave
Well-
them the flyers and all that stuff, and
I
yeah,
mean, your job is to sell the home, you're there to represent the home.
Yeah.
So, hey, when they say, hey, I'm working with, Janet, whatever, you're gonna say, that's great. You're gonna make a note of it on the sign-in sheet, of course. And as the list agent or the hosting agent, you might want to reach out to their agent and say, hey, your client did pop into my open house today. They seem like they like it. If you could get me some feedback, that would be awesome. So I could get it back to my seller. Yeah, you want to be, you do want to be respectful of other agents' clients,
Mhm.
and be you can still talk to them. They've acknowledged it, and you can still help them with whatever they need, but you
Yeah.
really can't try to secure them as a client of your own.
Right, yeah. I was
so
trying
you
not to
can-
do that. I literally
Yeah.
just marketed the house. I just told them how many bedrooms we're looking at, and I let them do their little tour. But those two of us agents showing inside the house, the hosting agent was outside doing the signings, and he's a seasoned agent. He's been doing this forever, so he literally just did the outside. So we stayed inside, and yeah, I just focused on the house, and the few that did not have an agent, obviously, I handed out my cards and
Mhm.
did a little talk. I had a nosy neighbor come through, and that was one of the most receptive ones of all
I
people
love
that I talked
neighbors.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
One
yeah, I
good
just want to
neighbor-
make sure. Yeah.
One good neighbor in a neighborhood can be worth gold. You really get connected with somebody because there's usually one person in the neighborhood that knows everything about everything.
Right.
And they can be a very good resource. They're a good person to send a thank you note with your business card because they keep them, their interest, they like to be in charge of the neighborhood sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So to stay connected with those, after it sells, you can always call, hey, that house over there that did sell. Oh yeah, I saw the people, before you know it, you're friends with these people.
I know.
So never, ever think that anybody couldn't be a particular person that you could nurture. They may never sell, but you're friends
Yeah.
with that person. Before you know it, they're giving you some business. So
That's the one that gave me the info about the neighborhood being a dog loving community.
oh,
And
awesome.
she literally said, we know all our neighbors through their dogs, so we know who owns what dog.
So
And
you
that's how
brought
they-
that to, so
Yeah,
you mentioned
so,
that
yeah,
in our
that's-
scripting. I thought that
Yep.
was your own neighborhood. Cool.
Yeah. So.
But absolutely. So now you can be pals with that lady and,
Right.
really get to know her and
Okay.
put her on and then tag her, get her information, tag her as a dog lover. And, when you see some cool thing, you can always send her a little email about it. So every time you have an opportunity to move the rock forward or the pedal forward, it's awesome. Okay, let me see.
Our friends are back.
All right, everybody's back. Let's have a quick aha and then we'll let you move on. Who did fabulous?
They all did. Look at them. They're our Ignite babies. They did wonderful.
Awesome. Did anybody have a mean person that they called? Oh,
Keith,
you're
you're
on mute,
muted.
hon.
It mutes you when you come back.
Yeah, no, I was really nice at first, and I started throwing the curveball, and I don't want robocalls, and Pam addressed it well, and was like, no, it's just my personal. I was like, oh, I'm not going to get a bunch of spam, am I? Because that's the stuff I'm getting when I start asking for information.
Absolutely.
Where's this information going?
Yeah, absolutely. And you need to have scripts on that and you need to practice that because even your friends will say, why do you need this stuff? And you're going to say, because I'm just, building my relationships here. And who else? Give me one aha, two ahas, and then we'll let you go.
Well, I don't know about an aha, but that was one hurdle we came across was just the concept of getting somebody's phone number and feeling like you're, having the hesitational thought that they're thinking you're stalking them.
Well, would that be a limiting belief, guys? They came to your open house. You didn't find them on the side of the road. They walked into your open house. They signed in, and you're following up to see how you can help them. When's the best time to follow up from the open house?
As soon
I
as
do it
possible.
the day after, 12 o'clock.
Nope.
As soon as you can, right away, so they can remember you.
Late in the afternoon. They may not remember you, but they're not gonna acknowledge that. But hey, how was your open houses? I know you were buzzing around the area. Anybody, do you need any help? Can I help you with any of them? Any of those properties you looked at, I can help you with. So tomorrow by noon is cool, but I'm kind of the belief, do it that night. You're tired. I know you've had a long day, but put in 45 minutes and call and just say, hey, I saw you today at this open house. I know you were buzzing around. Do you have any questions on anything? They're gonna pretend they remember who you are, but they're not going to. And then they're gonna go, yeah, we like that one over on blah, blah, but there's this, I don't know, there's a pool and there's a fence, and you say, you know what, I'll get you the plot plan. And then now you're helping people. It's a very, very important time to connect on open houses. So you guys did great today. Thank you for being patient with my intranet. And thank you guys for helping me, Janet and Brooke. And I think you guys are doing awesome. I love the engagement today. And I think you guys are all gonna do it. I don't know what happened to Chuck, but I can't wait till he does his open house this weekend. And I'm sure you all do really well. So, I'm Deb Hayes.
Thank you, Deb.
I'm Deb Hayes at kw.com. Give me a email if you have anything. Thank you, Nick. And everybody, make your call, smile and dial.
Thank
Let's get
you.
some business going.
Thanks, Deb.
Dynamite. See you
Thank you.
later.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Have a great
you, Deb.
day.
All
Thank
right,
you,
we'll see you
everyone.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. That's why.